Right, so into the age of experience. Again, back over to VR. Now, we've already spoken about gaming, about the entertainment industry. We're now going to shift across over to Audi VR. Basically, what we're looking at is how VR is also going to change the whole digital sales business as well. And the gentleman that's going to share with you his insights and making sense of everything regarding the topic is the strategy lead, immersive technology, Mr. Markus Kühne.
Thanks, my friend. Thank you very much. Okay, so yeah, hello, welcome, and thanks for sharing and spending time with me here. So it's hard to talk about pioneering if you had a guy like Buzz on the stage before. So, but you see, we choose the same pictures because this is standing for real pioneering, what Buzz is doing and all the people before. And we at Audi, we're also convinced that there are amazing times also down on earth here in front of us. And we will have great opportunities in the future thanks to immersive technologies. Immersive technologies allows us to create customer experiences and also to change our development process in a very unexpected way and help us to achieve a new level finally of simulate a product and also orchestrate the product. So why I choose into the age of experience here for this speech as a name. So I guess it's a fine introduction to give us a feeling that we are on a threshold to a new era right now. If we take a look back, which ages influenced our cultures most during the last 3,000 years? There was first the age of mythology, then religion. So during our lifetime, the age of science, which changed many, many things for us. And currently, we're, from our perspective, at the end of the age of information. And that's not a bad thing, because the next age is very strong connected with the age of information. We guess it's the age of experience. So the immersive technologies are the catalysts to accelerate this development. We will interact in a completely different way in the future with computer, handle information, show complex products, develop complex products, have also emotional experiences. And I want to tell you a little bit about our first steps into this new age, which we made with the Audi VR experience, which is a virtual reality-driven sales tool we developed during the last 4 years. What's the reason that we are using virtual reality at the dealerships? Today we have the challenge that customers only come to the dealership to talk about the price. There's no reason anymore to spend time there. You have the internet, you can inform yourself very well. And one of our main missions is to intensify the connection between the dealer and the customer. And give them a reason to spend time at the dealership. And immersive technology, especially virtual reality at this time, is really a gift for us to achieve that goal. So if we take a look, just for the background once again, how does it look like buy a car 70 years ago? I go to the dealership, you have some prospects, I see the cars, maybe I have a test drive, that's nice. Many, many things happen in between. That's the age of information we're seeing here. And what happens with the sales process, with the retail process of cars? Nearly nothing. Although it's a competitor here at Audi dealerships, it's nearly the same, honestly. And Audi started to react in 2012. So we developed the Audi cities, which are digital flagship stores in very expensive city locations, where we show the cars on huge screens, one-to-one, and you can change all the details, colors, and all the stuff, and get a personal impression. This was successful. People liked it. We also have we sell more expensive cars there with these digital tools, but of course more important is to achieve the normal dealership, not only those flagship stores. So from 2014, we invented several digital sales modules, which are using digital technologies to show the products on a screen, in 2D, in 3D animated, and so on. That's nice, people like it, but that's also what people expect if they spend time at a premium car brand, that we present our cars in that way. So, and finally, from 2016, last year, we piloted the systems. We are introducing virtual reality at our dealerships. And I guess the important step is that we don't handle virtual reality as a nice gimmick or maybe a showcase for a roadshow or something like this. For us, this is a fixed, integrated part of the whole process at the point of sale, but in the future also for the whole development process of the car. So let's take a look to the challenge for us. Our car models are already there. That's one of our highest values we have. We have the construction data of all of our cars. Audi have 53 different models, including all derivatives, with millions of potential option combinations. And of course, this is very challenging to bring and generate a process where you are able to show all those cars with all those options in VR within a short time, with the high performance, with the needed high performance regarding 90 frames per second, below 20 milliseconds, and so on. Our car models have which are directly at the development, have 50 to 70 million polycounts, which we have to animate with the named performance on a normal PC at the dealership, which is still not possible. So we developed a process where we reduce those data to a tenth, so 5 to 7 million polycounts. And to give you a feeling, modern video games like Forza and so on, they have 1 to 2 million polycounts. That means our models are much more complex than at video games, and the advantage is our geometry at the models is real geometry. We have no fake geometries, faked by textures or something. If you see on a wheel, Pashwatri knob or something, some structures, they're really there. You can go very close, and that's important for virtual reality. If you want to buy a car and you present it in VR, people go close to the details. They should see that one-to-one as it really is. So we introduce this technology in two setups as a standard setup for a seated experience, which we are seeing here on the left side, piloted last year. Now, from the first quarter, we will introduce it at several hundreds of dealerships worldwide, starting in Europe, but also for other markets as well. And we have also an advanced setup, which we see in a video in a few seconds, where you are able to stand up, walk around the car, and so on. This is more for road shows and for the Audi cities, because you need a higher focus of the salesperson to avoid any kind of accidents or something. So the seated version, which we are seeing on the left side, is the mass product which we will have at the most of our dealerships. People configure the car, see it on a screen. It's a nice side effect. We have a good visualization on the screen all the time. And if they have configured the car, or if you try to explain some complex systems, you can use VR. So with the development, we learned that content is the most important thing, a good content strategy. What should we show to the customers? How could we impress them? How could we give them a more good level or high quality information on one hand, but also an emotional experience? So let's take a look at that. So we have a content pyramid. Finally, we have rational values. We have the car configuration. That's nice. We can show our options and so on. That's expected. That's what people expect if they come to a car dealership as Audi. Then we have promotional content where we can explain the functional value. Of course, the car configuration is great to show the advantage of the design tool or design equipment and the car itself, and how does it look like with bigger rims and so on and other materials. With the promotion content, we can explain how does it feel to drive with matrix beam headlights instead normal ones, or how is the Quattro is working, and so on. So we have this is a kind of emotional. We also integrated some unexpected projects like effects like an X-ray view. You will see it in the video as well, where you can dive into the structures and look under the hood. And on the top, we have emotional experiences which connects people with the brand. So the first one we produced is a complete pit stop sequence in Le Mans. We digitalized that with a lot of effort, motion capturing, photogrammetry, and so on. And if you're a dealer, you can say, okay, this is a customer, he wants to buy a sport model. I should start this with the Le Mans Tribute experience. And then you have a really good emotional start into the sales talk, and then you can talk about his car, you can show him this car and the surrounding, and so on. But that's for now enough theory. I have a video here which the guys from our friends from Upload VR finally produced several weeks ago, which gives you a glimpse what will be possible there. So maybe, guys, if you could play it right now, I would be very thankful.
When we started to develop with virtual reality, we just wanted to get the car in VR. But that's not VR. In VR, you want to excite people. You want to create specific moments which are not possible in reality.
Audi's intention is not only to be a customer for VR solutions, we want to be a part of the movement from the beginning.
Audi's been fantastic as a partner to work with. They're incredibly knowledgeable in the field. It's amazing to see somebody who's so passionately dedicated to pushing this new medium forward.
Our application is working with the Rift and the Vive. Both are great systems. Very thankful to work with Oculus and HTC to realize that.
We spend a lot of time in thinking about how can we bring the most value for the customer if he uses the Audi VR experience.
The customized car experience, which really showcases VR beyond gaming and entertainment, and how it's going to be incredibly useful.
You can change the color of the paint on the car, you can swap out the tires, and you can do all this virtually. You don't need the physical object there. So that opens up a lot of possibilities for how manufacturers of products can sell them.
For the dealer, it simplifies the sales process because he can show all cars and all options, and for the customer, it's a highly emotional experience.
With the Le Mans experience, it's a brand new way for them to engage with fans.
You have the feeling that you're right next to the pit crew. That's an awesome and absolutely stunning experience.
It really does sort of capture that passion of why somebody would be interested in the brand. It's about connection with a personal experience, and it's about creating memories.
If we roll out hundreds of systems at our dealerships, hopefully 100,000 of people within the next years will have a great VR experience at the dealership and will say, wow, I have to start thinking how I can use this technology in my business, at home, everywhere else.
How you think about cars, how you discover cars, how you experience cars, how you buy cars is all going to change in the next few years.
These are the first steps on a long journey to the future.
Okay, thanks, guys. So, yeah, this gave you a first impression, and you can try the Le Mans experience in the Hall 17 in the VR base area. There we have a black box, and our friends from Ignite, which did that for us, are there and presented there, so you have a chance to try it. You should. It's really a cool experience. And maybe we learned some lessons during this development. First, that people want to that it's good to create experiences which are not possible in reality. So people are first impressed if they see to try it first time and say, oh, wow, that looks really realistic, better than expected. And in the next step, they realize that they are able to dive into the car, that we could change the whole environment. And as you saw, we have also the moon. The moon makes no sense, but it brings a lot of fun. And why we shouldn't bring fun to the car sales process. So originally it was only a showcase scenario for the last CES, but because of the positive reaction of people, we decided to put it in. Besides the virtual reality, usage of virtual reality, I guess the second important thing here at this application is that you can customize the sales experience. The salesperson is able to do that. So he have a bunch of different experiences and content types, and surroundings also, where he is presenting the car, which he can fit to the dealer, to the customer. Sorry for that, to the customer. So, for example, if you know this customer loves to make vacation in southern France, you show him a car on the harbor of Monaco, for example. You can bring in some additional technical explanations or those brand experience fitted to the customer. So finally, those was our first steps into this direction. This is only the half part of the team, and we had great partners here. And yeah, during my presentations last year, if I was really focused on the development with the team, we said always, and the best, that's only the beginning. That was only beginning, so many things ahead. Meanwhile, we know what comes next. And today I want to share a little bit more of our expectations, what could be the next steps. And I guess because of those 4 years of development and also the good connection into the VR scene, we have a maybe fundamental feeling what will happen. So, okay, that's the question. What comes next after the start? To explain that, let's make a little forecast from our side. What will happen with immersive technologies? Today we are at stage 1. The usage of augmented and virtual reality, more virtual reality at Audi currently is an advantage. So we have the sales setup, which we're seeing on the top, and also for development we have first use cases. So my valued colleagues using VR here to simulate complete complete environments. That means he is driving right now on a flat surface on the airport in Munich, 500 x 500 meter big, and in his HMD he is seeing a complete town with different traffic situations, with people who jumping in front of the car, and the autonomously driving systems avoid a crash and so on. You can simulate that, of course, with the, you have to do it in that way. So that means we have a positive impact of those technologies for us. It's helpful, it's meaningful. So the next stage we will achieve within 3 to 6 years. Upcoming augmented mixed reality will change many things, maybe also at the sales process. So we think VR is the first step. Mixed reality will come too, and allows us then to project the car beside us in a very natural way. The good thing is you don't lose the connection. If we have virtual reality, like on the left side, the customer, if he is using the HMD, is lost. He's in a separate world. This has some advantage, but also disadvantage. Here, with mixed reality, you can see the customer, the direct line between the dealer and the customer is not interrupted. Besides that, we will have some new use cases. Of course, in the car, it becomes potentially possible to use augmented reality or mixed reality as a 360-degree head-up display, kind of, at least. So we really think that will have an impact, and maybe also it allows us to generate some new revenue streams. That means we will become a very positive impact. It becomes more meaningful. It's not only an advantage to be involved and to spend time with these technologies and think about what will happen and then get connected with the sector. It becomes important, maybe a need. So, and in a long-term perspective, stage 3, within 8 to 12 years, maybe faster, it depends. If Apple, for example, goes into this field this year, all those things which we're seeing here will come faster, of course. But we don't know. And so currently we think in 8 to 12 years, we expect that mixed reality and virtual reality will merge in one device. And this is really meaningful because this could have much more impacts than people expect today. Of course, we would have better sales applications, and at the development process, we would use it from the beginning and so on. This is, by the way, short side story, one of the main challenges for us to generate a digital data process from the design over the development up to the point of sales with the same kind of data, with the same programs and so on, in a huge company as Audi, you have several platforms, several departments, several responsibilities. That's currently one of our main focus to harmonize that, which will give us new opportunities. But back to stage 3. The thing what is unexpected and why it's very meaningful and important for us to go now into this field. If the vision of Mark Zuckerberg comes true and virtual reality and also mixed reality has a higher social aspect than the people expect today, then we have an extremely positive impact, but, and that's, I guess, a very important message, we have maybe a problem. Because there's no need for mobility anymore on the same level. And this could have a huge impact for mobility in the future, a massive one. And if that comes, if that happens in 10 years, it's of course very good and helpful to know it now, to know it maybe within the next 4 to 5 years. Therefore, we can develop strategies. How can we handle that? What have we do? What should we do? So that we then really have a plan. What's to do to avoid that? So we're really focusing on these topics, and I also have first answers to this question, but unfortunately I can't share them today, maybe in the next speeches in the next time. But I can only say, trust us, we will find a way. And I only can say to everyone, start thinking about those technologies. Maybe nobody knows today how meaningful they will be in 10 years, but if they get the impact which many people expect today, and this community, this strong and cool community is waiting for and hoping for, then it will change many things and it will bring us new questions. And we will land the spaceship finally so that we can have great experience in VR, but also real experiences as this one in the future here on Earth. So that's for now, and yeah, now I'm open-minded for your questions. Thank you very much.
Hi there, thank you very much for the presentation. The question that drives me is, with all the VR and AR stuff coming up, how important is the haptical experience? Because when I go to a shop or I see a car, I really want to touch it.
Yep.
And especially if you interact with friends on on another level, it's really important as well. So I think that's the main aspect.
Got it. Yeah, that's a very good and important question. We get this feedback very often. What's about the haptics? Let me touch that. I want to touch that. First thing people say is, hey, I don't see my hands. Please bring in the hands. This increased the immersion. Normally it would, and we would do that normally, but we figured out if we use a leap motion, for example, to bring in the hands, people are more disappointed because they have the hands, but they can't touch. So it's better to hide the hands. At least a big part of the people doesn't think about it. But many do. And Audi is a brand which is really, really focused on a very sophisticated interior quality. We invest a lot of effort and also money, finally from the customer, to have a really great finish inside a car. And I personally think within the next 5 to 10 years, it's a big range, I don't think that we can replace that with gloves or something. And we don't want it. You should have your test drive still in the future. You should have a real car where you can smell the leather, where you can touch the aluminium and the real materials, because it's a high investment you have to take for that. And the usage of VR and augmented reality is more an addition to show your personalized car. In a perfect world, you say, okay, I want to have an A5 with this engine, and your dealer comes to you, you make the test drive, you say, yes, it's in the best way, you say, yeah. In the best way, there's an engine which can simulate different ones, by the way. There's another story. And then you say, okay, this is the one I want to have. And then you configure your car in mixed reality in front of your house with him and say, yeah, that's it. That's my combination. I guess this is achievable within the next 5 to 10 years, and this will be the future, but you will have a real haptic experience. The same question we always get with driving simulation. People say, hey, it's nice to have a static presentation, but I want to drive. of course, it's fun in VR with project cars and so on, but the challenge is you need a very expensive and strong mechanical seat to avoid sickness. Because if you drive it in a normal way, most people would get sick. And as I mentioned, we don't want to replace the normal test drive. And we developed dealership modules primarily. And we figured out a model which could be good enough for our premium demand would cost between 80 and 100,000 $20. That's too much for a dealership to bring up some funny trips with a virtual Air 8 on the Nürburgring. That's okay for road shows maybe in the future, but I don't expect that at normal dealerships within the next time. Then I would say take the money and focus on the further development of mixed reality, because that brings a real advantage and gives us more flexibility than with the virtual reality solution right now. So, short question, long answer. So yeah, some more questions do you guys have regarding all this stuff? Here we go.
Hi, I'm Chris.
Hi, Chris.
How are you encouraging the dealers to use those tools? Because I think that those dealers are very experienced and most of the time they have their way in selling cars.
Yeah. There's one very, very important element. It surprises people and customers. Most of our customers never wear the HMD, never. Most of us here are from the IT sector or have a connection to this field. So we experience it with this. Many people here tried it already, I guess. I was with the guys from Upload at the US Chamber of Commerce 2 weeks ago. 150 person, really high leaders and very important business leaders from the United States there. And really less people of those tried the current VR headsets. I couldn't believe that. But yes, I would say 90%. For 90% it was the first VR experience. I couldn't believe that. But that's what happens at the dealerships as well. And so people are surprised and they're excited. And if you have a tool which excites people and emotionalizes them, then the dealers use it. If it's only gimmicky or something, they don't. But here, our experience with the first 5 dealerships in Germany, which we have equipped with this technology, are really good. People, as expected with digital tools, they spend more money for options, which is important for our business case, of course. It costs a lot of money to develop that stuff. But it seems we have a positive impact, which we already expected, honestly. And just one example, one dealer told me he had at his dealership a CEO of a mid-sized German company, several thousand employees. He tried that, and if he just unmounted the HMD, he said, wow, it's much better than expected. I have to start thinking about how I can use it in my business. Tomorrow I have to meet with my management and we have to start. He has an engineering tooling company. And he was inspired by this technology. And hopefully he will, don't forget for a long time that Audi gives him this inspiration. And we will do the same in the future as well with other technologies. So it should be also an experience to buy a car because we want to use impressive technologies to visualize, to show our products. Because people are excited, dealers use it. That's the most important thing. And finally, sorry for that, it's not about only the experience. We also have those 360 videos, which explains very well how our stuff is working. And if you show it on the screen, if you have an animation which explains the matrix beam headlight, for example, people will remember that. That's strong. They know that, and this doesn't impress them. To see it in VR is much more intensive, and they keep it longer in their mind. So all kinds of learning are much better in VR. It's a completely undervalued field right now. The same as if you explain complex systems to customers. They understand it much better and they keep it in their mind. So that's an additional value which we are using with this technology here. Okay.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Markus Kühne.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Take care. Have fun.